The future of AI is local and tiny. Executive summary. Frontier cloud AI companies face bankruptcy as investor subsidies vanish and real computing costs rise. Relying on remote models creates massive risks, including erratic vendor updates, privacy leaks, and severe global supply chain failures. Conversely, the future of artificial intelligence belongs to local, compact models. Built by tech leaders, these free systems run efficiently on cheap local hardware. They protect sensitive data and ensure total operational independence for smart organizations. Article. For years, giant artificial intelligence companies offered cheap services. Users processed millions of words through cloud servers for pennies. This cheap access was a financial illusion. Wealthy venture capitalists subsidized the true cost of running these massive models. Investors poured billions of dollars into tech startups to capture market share. They hid the real operational expenses from the public. Now, the era of subsidized cloud AI is ending. Investors are demanding real profits instead of rapid user growth. Frontier AI companies must charge the true cost of their computing power. If they do not raise prices, they will face bankruptcy. This sudden shift is shocking the tech industry. Many customers cannot or will not pay these higher prices. As a result, frontier companies will descend into insolvency. They will lose their funding and their customers. To survive the cash crunch, these companies will cut corners. They will reduce the computing power behind their public systems. Consequently, the performance of cloud-based products will deteriorate. Users will notice slower response times and lower quality answers. The once mighty models will become unreliable and frustrating. Even the largest corporations are changing their strategies. They are actively moving away from token-maximizing cloud architectures. They realize that relying on distant server farms is no longer sustainable. The power of tiny models. At the same time, an engineering revolution is happening. Engineers are proving that bigger is not always better. You do not need giant models to do useful things. For a long time, the industry assumed that performance required trillions of parameters. Recent breakthroughs completely disproved this assumption. Today, small models achieve incredible results on specific tasks. They can summarize documents, write clean code, and extract data efficiently. They do not try to know everything about world history. Instead, they focus on doing one job perfectly. This narrow focus makes them highly efficient. Global technology leaders are embracing this downscaling trend. Companies like Google, IBM, Microsoft, and NVIDIA now build miniature models. These models range from just millions of parameters to tens of millions of parameters. They are tiny fractions of the size of cloud giants, yet they perform tasks with shocking accuracy and speed. Furthermore, these compact models are completely free. Developers can download them without signing restrictive contracts. They do not require monthly subscription fees or per-token charges. They democratize artificial intelligence for students, researchers, and small businesses alike. Bringing AI home to local hardware. Because these models are small, they do not need massive data centers. They run efficiently on relatively inexpensive consumer GPUs. You can buy these graphics cards at local electronics stores. In many cases, these models even run directly on standard computer CPUs. Additional cloud AI. This hardware compatibility changes where the computing happens. It brings the power of artificial intelligence back to your desk. You do not need a fiber optic internet connection to use advanced software. A standard laptop can host a capable intelligence system. Local processing eliminates the constant drain of cloud subscription fees. It puts total ownership back into the hands of the user. Businesses can run their automation systems 24 hours a day. They never have to worry about a monthly cloud bill again. Defending private data. Privacy is another driving force behind local artificial intelligence. When you use cloud AI, you send data across the internet. This data often contains sensitive corporate secrets or personal medical records. You must trust a third-party vendor to secure this information. History shows that cloud data leaks happen frequently. Hackers constantly target centralized server farms for valuable information. Once your data leaves your building, you lose control over it. Tech companies might even use your private files to train their next public models. Local hardware solves this massive security problem completely. Your data never leaves your physical device. It stays behind your corporate firewall and your personal encryption keys. You can process confidential financial records without any risk of exposure. For industries like healthcare and banking, local deployment is mandatory. They must follow strict government regulations regarding data privacy. Local models allow these sectors to innovate safely. They get the benefits of automation without compromising patient or customer trust. The crumbling global supply chain. The physical infrastructure of the Internet is highly fragile. Cloud AI relies on massive data centers that face severe supply chain problems. First, new data centers require enormous amounts of electricity. Tech companies face long delays in securing power from local utility grids. Electric grids are already strained by modern demands. Building new power substations takes years of bureaucratic approval and construction. Without guaranteed power, new data centers sit empty and useless. Second, the manufacturing of AI hardware faces geopolitical roadblocks. China controls the global supply of many rare earth elements. These minerals are essential for manufacturing high-performance computer chips. If China cuts off these exports, GPU manufacturing will stop instantly. Third, global energy shipping lanes are increasingly unsafe. Disruptions in chemical feedstocks from the Persian Gulf threaten global manufacturing. Refineries require these feedstocks to produce advanced plastics and silicon components. A single regional conflict can halt global computer production overnight. Sifting through the ruins of the cloud. The combination of high costs and supply shortages will cause a tech crash. Many overbuilt data centers will soon run out of cash. These built but dead data centers will be abandoned by their owners. Liquidators will quickly strip them of their valuable graphics cards. As a result, millions of used GPUs will flood the market. They will become incredibly cheap on the secondary market. eBay and liquidator warehouses will overflow with enterprise hardware. Small businesses will buy top-tier chips for pennies on the dollar. Purchased but uninstalled GPUs will also flood the market. Bankrupt startups will sell their unused inventory to pay off debts. This massive fire sale will spark a local computing boom. High-end hardware will finally become affordable for everyday creators. You do not need a whole cluster of these cards to succeed. Just one card from a dead data center can make a useful system. Inside an organization, one GPU can power an entire department's automation tools. The waste of the cloud will fuel the efficiency of the local movement. Escaping vendor lock-in and chaos. Building a product on top of a cloud model introduces severe business risks. You are completely dependent on a single model vendor. If that vendor changes the underlying code, your application can break instantly. You have no control over their engineering decisions. Cloud vendors regularly update their systems without warning. OpenAI apparently will change models without telling you beforehand. This practice causes erratic behavior in software applications that depend on them. A system that worked perfectly on Friday might fail completely on Monday morning. When the vendor's model breaks, your customers suffer immediately. You are dependent on a very large and dispersed infrastructure. This complex cloud web can break down in unusual, unpredictable ways. A fiber optic cable cut or a server outage can destroy your service. These infrastructure failures leave paying customers unhappy. They do not care that a distant vendor caused the issue. They blame your product for the downtime. If you sell your software to a lot of customers, this creates a reputational disaster. Total control through local software. Local models eliminate this vendor dependence entirely. One major advantage of local models is your control over version selection. You download a specific version of a model to your own drive. That file never changes unless you manually replace it. When a developer releases a new version, you do not rush to install it. You can test the new model thoroughly in a safe environment. You check it for bugs, biases, and unexpected errors. You only commit to using it after it passes your quality checks. The giant AI companies do not always provide this safe option. They force updates down the pipeline to maximize their own efficiency. They prioritize their global platform over your individual business needs. Local deployment flips this power dynamic in your favor. By owning the hardware and the software file, you guarantee reliability. Your systems run identically day after day. Your customers experience consistent performance and uptime. You insulate your business from the chaos of the shifting tech landscape. Do you know that any private information you put into a cloud AI is used to train that AI? A private AI running on your own hardware is the best way to keep your private data private. I can help you set up a private AI on almost any PC or server. Contact me for a free consultation. I have published more than 700 blogs on AI in the past 3 years. If you get value from these blogs, please consider joining my Patreon as a member at the $2, $4, or $8 level. https://www.patreon.com/Steve Hovland.